Colin sat at his workbench, staring anxiously at the disassembled iPhone before him. Tiny screws and delicate components lay scattered across the mat, and his hands were shaking slightly. 1 week into his new job at Quick Fix Mobile Repair, he hadn't successfully fixed a single phone. "How's that screen replacement coming along?" Sarah, his supervisor, called from across the shop. "Almost done," Colin lied as he wiped sweat from his forehead. He glanced at the customer's phone, having no idea how to properly reconnect the display assembly. During his job interview, he had claimed to have 2 years of experience repairing smartphones. "I've handled everything from screen replacements to motherboard repairs," he had said confidently. The shop owner was impressed and hired him on the spot. Now his lies were catching up with him. "Hey, Colin." Tom, a senior technician, approached his workbench. "That customer from yesterday came back. Says his phone won't turn on after your battery replacement." Colin's stomach dropped. "Oh, maybe it's just a software issue?" Tom picked up the phone and examined it. His expression grew serious. "Did you disconnect the battery before working on it?" "Of course," Colin said quickly, though he hadn't. "Then why are these connector pins burnt?" Tom showed him the damage. This could have been dangerous. Lithium batteries aren't toys. That afternoon, another customer stormed in, holding a phone Colin had fixed 2 days earlier. "The screen is falling off," she complained to the manager. "And now the speaker doesn't work either." After the customer left, Tom called Colin to the break room. "Sit down," he said firmly. "We need to talk." Colin slumped into a chair, knowing what was coming. "You've been here a week," Tom began, "and I've been watching you. You clearly don't have the experience you claim to have." Colin stared at the floor, his face burning with shame. "Look at me," Tom said. "Do you know how dangerous this is? These phones contain batteries that can catch fire if mishandled. People trust us with expensive devices containing their personal data. One mistake could cost thousands of dollars or put someone at risk." I'm sorry," Colin whispered. "I just really needed the job. And lying seemed like the best solution." Tom shook his head. "Plus, instead of asking for help, you've been pretending to know what you're doing. That makes it even worse." "I was embarrassed," Colin admitted. "Everyone here is so skilled, and I didn't want to look stupid." "You know what's really stupid?" Tom leaned forward. "Risking people's property and safety because you're too proud to admit you need help. We all started somewhere. None of us were born knowing how to fix phones." Colin nodded slowly, feeling the weight of his mistakes. "Here's what's going to happen," Tom continued. "I'm going to talk to the manager. If you're willing to be honest from now on and start from scratch as a trainee, I'll help you learn. But one more lie and you're out." "Deal." "Really?" Colin looked up, surprised by the offer. "You'd do that?" "Everyone deserves a second chance," Tom said. "But only if they're honest and willing to learn." The next morning, Colin arrived early. He admitted his lies to the manager, accepted a reduced trainee salary, and started his real training under Tom's guidance. First rule of repair: always ask when you're not sure, Tom said, holding up an iPhone. Better to ask 100 questions than make one costly mistake. For the first time since starting the job, Colin felt genuine relief. Over the next few weeks, he asked questions about everything, took detailed notes, and practiced basic repairs under supervision. It was harder than pretending, but it felt right. 1 month later, Colin successfully completed his first solo repair. A proper one this time. "How does it feel?" Tom asked, watching him test the repaired phone. Colin smiled. "Honestly, much better than faking it. I should have done this from the start." "The truth usually works out better," Tom agreed. "Keep that in mind for next time." Later that evening, as Colin was organizing his tools, a new job applicant came in for an interview. The young man reminded Colin of himself just a few months ago, nervous, eager to impress, and perhaps tempted to exaggerate his skills. After the applicant left, Colin turned to Tom. "You know, I wish I could tell every job seeker what I learned the hard way." "And what's that?" Tom asked, curious. "That it's better to be honest about what you don't know," Colin said thoughtfully. "Lying about your experience or pretending to understand things might get you through the door, but it only leads to bigger problems. The embarrassment of admitting you need help is nothing compared to the shame of being caught in a lie, or worse, damaging someone's property because you were too proud to ask questions. Tom nodded approvingly. Sounds like you learned more than just phone repair. Yeah, Colin agreed, carefully placing his screwdriver in its proper spot. Being honest about your limitations isn't weakness. It's the first step to genuine growth. I just wish I'd known that sooner. 单字 workbench 有指可固定木头、金属等的工作台。Noun a strong table for working on, especially one on which objects such as pieces of wood or metal can be firmly held so that tools can be used on them. Disassemble 拆开、拆卸。Verb to separate something into its different parts. Mat 桌垫、衬垫。Noun a small piece of cloth, cardboard, or plastic that is put on a surface such as a table to protect it. On the spot 在现场 at the place where an event is happening or has recently happened. Lithium Li Noun a chemical element that is a soft, silver-colored metal. Trainee 受培训者、实习生。Noun a person who is learning and practicing the skills of a particular job.